Not watching it now, you can watch it later. Thank you all for diving in and stopping through. What is up, Miss P in the house? What is up, Sean in the house? What is up, my friends? Again, if you're not watching it now, you can watch it later once it uploads. But when you do come into the live show, make sure you're double tapping that screen, beating the shit out of that like button for us here on Steel City Live. As always, super chats are always open if you want your comment read immediately. Also, become a member, help support our work. It isn't about like benefits, really. It's more about just, hey, 99 cents a month to help support your favorite channel. That's definitely something that you could help out with. It's definitely easy to do, and it's 99 cents a month. Always will be 99 cents a month. Never will ever change. But now that we've got a little bit of those business type things out of the way, what about Aaron Rodgers coming to visit today? I assume that this is almost a done deal, but then again, who gives a shit? Anybody want to go hang out and have some pudding and some shuffleboard? Anybody ready for all that? I am. Whoopee shit that Aaron Rodgers came to visit, and the media goes crazy. The shit storm of the media goes crazy. You got Jerry Dulac and Adam Schefter going back and forth. Who's right? Who's the insider here? You know, people calling out all these people. Oh, hey, this person sucks. They're never right. Blah, blah, blah. Who cares, guys? Who fucking cares if Aaron Rodgers came to the Pittsburgh Steelers facility today? And then everybody's like, oh, well, he's not going to sign now because he didn't make a deal before he left the building. Forget that old antage of if they leave the building without a signature on the contract, you're not going to get him. That's a lie. Russell Wilson signed 2 days after last year once he left the building. So that isn't an indicator of anything. But the old man, he came in, him and Mike, Art II, Omar, they had a great game of shuffleboard. They hung out. They shot the shit a little bit, you know, did their thing, had some tapioca pudding at the cafeteria, compared walkers, talked about which brand they thought was best, what they were going to be able to do next year, new innovative things for the walkers that they were going to have coming out. You know, just big things, man. Different types of potty chairs they can use for their toilets. Big happenings in the world of the geriatrics, man. So yeah, who gives a shit if Aaron Rodgers left, didn't sign, if he came for a visit? He spent 6 hours reportedly at the Pittsburgh Steelers facility. And again, whoop-e shit, guys. And anybody out there clamoring for Aaron Rodgers, guys, any quarterback in this league is going to do what Aaron Rodgers does with this roster. They're going to be a 10, 11 win team. And maybe, just maybe, they strike lightning in a bottle and they go on a little bit of a run. They get hot. Maybe. That's what that season's going to be next year. Period. Whether it's Mason Rudolph at the helm, whether it's Aaron Rodgers, whatever. It honestly, this isn't a Super Bowl roster just yet. And I got to fight back against some of the people. And I don't think a lot of Steeler fans want Aaron Rodgers. I really don't. That's the general consensus I get. But the Pittsburgh Steelers, I just feel are going to be the same no matter what. No matter who's under center in 2025, guys. This is a build-up. A lot of people wonder why they've done some of the deals that they've done, why they've let some of the players walk that they've let walk for certain amounts of money and things of that nature. Guys, if you don't see the clear plan that's put out right in front of you, I don't know how much more they could telegraph it. They are building compensatory picks. They're building picks towards 2026. That's what they are doing. That's the plan. I believe that's the plan. And I believe that they may throw a Hail Mary in there and try to bring in Aaron Rodgers and just try to do something good. But I think the Steelers need to wake up and realize that Mason Rudolph's going to give you the same exact thing as Aaron Rodgers is going to give you at age 42. I mean, that's what he's going to do. Good to see you, Sean. I wanted to thank Sean, everybody. Sean sent me a package with some Hawaii coffee, man. So I'm really excited about that. Thank you, Sean. I truly appreciate that, man. Definitely something really cool to get to taste and get to experience. So something I don't get here. So fresh from the farms down there, man. All right, guys, everybody, make sure you're double tapping that screen, hitting that like button, sending us out into that YouTube algorithm. It's absolutely free to hit the like button. It's absolutely free to share this show across all of your social media platforms to all your family and friends. Invite everybody to the conversation here at Mike Drop Sports. We truly, truly appreciate that. We are going to be here on a Freestyle Friday. We're going to get to a lot of your chat comments and questions and concerns and kind of let you guys guide the conversation. But again, the Steelers have Aaron Rodgers in for that visit. And really, I don't know why I'm not more excited for a 4-time MVP, Super Bowl MVP, Super Bowl champion to be in the building. I am not thrilled about it at all. I'm not excited about it. I really have no emotion other than I think it's a grave mistake to spend that money on a quarterback that isn't going to provide you any type of significant upgrade at the position or team-wise. And I hate to be like that, but I think that money could be allocated elsewhere, that money could be spent elsewhere to build this roster into an actual, real Super Bowl contending type roster. And I think they have the ability to still do that. I think the draft is going to be special. I want to talk about some of the last 15 first-round draft picks from your Pittsburgh Steelers. The last 15 picks that the Steelers have made with inside of the NFL draft. One of those was lost to Minkah Fitzpatrick. But still, the last 15 times the Pittsburgh Steelers have picked in the first round of the NFL draft. I'm going to give you some statistics on that, and we're going to discuss that a little bit. Steve Winters in the house. Hello, Jason. Hope all is well, my friend. All I have to say about Aaron Rodgers is fuck no. I agree with you, Steve. Zach Curry, Sean, how's it go? Oh, he's talking to Sean. Mark Malone in the house. A-Rod has left the building. Amen, brother. Amen. Thomas Breeze in the house. Sign Russ already and send the drama queen Rodgers back to New York. Yeah, good to see you, Thomas. Yeah, dude. Send him packing. And Deshaun Elliott put it perfectly. Send him back to the care home, man. They don't want. Do I think Aaron Rodgers signing with the Steelers would be a disruption inside of the locker room and players wouldn't be on board with it? I think they would deal with it, and I don't think there would be any real trouble that way. But what's going to happen the first time that Aaron Rodgers blames Calvin Austin and George Pickens and DK Metcalf and Pat Freiermuth and the group? When he blames them, you didn't run the right route, or you didn't do this correctly. It's not my fault. It's all your fault. What's going to happen then? This guy's 42 years old, and if he can't check an ego at the door, it's not going to work. And I'm not saying Aaron can't adapt. He's a smart guy. You know, he's an intellectual guy. I hope he'd have enough sense and maybe to be able to overcome that ego that he has, but one will never know until that experiment is rolling here. Aaron Rodgers wanted to talk about his Depends that holds his jockstrap. Yeah, he was just wondering what size diapers the Steelers had for inside of his uniform pants, because that was going to be a real determining factor for Aaron Rodgers on whether or not he was going to be able to get to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Also, he wanted to know what type of wheelchair van that they operated in order for him to get back and forth to the facility day in and day out, if that was the proper safety measures were put in place for that wheelchair van. So definitely one super chat already coming through here with two hope. The Steelers are ready to make a run. Since Tomlin, he has built a perfect team yet again. The Steelers only needed to get Rodgers extended. Or only get Rodgers, extend Tomlin. Amen, baby. Amen. I think they should hire two hope, because he has the right idea, man. Mediocre Mike, lifetime contract, Aaron Rodgers, let him play till he's 52, and run this damn thing, man. Run this damn thing. Thank you to Hope. I always appreciate you, my friend. Thank you so very much for your steady support of the show. Truly, truly appreciated. No to Russ and Rodgers. They need to retire. I think Russ got a couple more years, but Russ got to fix the over the middle problem. And I don't know if he's capable with his size. Rodgers, my family going fishing, ruined our dynasty in 2010. What dynasty are you talking about? Oh, the Steelers. They didn't. The Steelers weren't on a roll for a dynasty there. They were playing in their third Super Bowl in 5 years. They had won two of those Super Bowls. Yeah, they should have won that game. They should have won their third Super Bowl in 5 or 6 years there. So I guess you could have considered that Little Mama Six, maybe. So not a bad idea. Yeah, you're kind of right. That we might be talking about that now as a little mini dynasty there with the Pittsburgh Steelers, because winning that many titles in that many years is in that short amount of time is definitely something that is really, really special. And the dynasty tag does get thrown around sometimes a little loosely, but that definitely could have been one. Downtown John Broadway. Yes, thank God for Mason Rudolph. Amen. Sleeping lady in the house. If we end up with Rodgers, Rudolph, and quarterback from the draft, that wouldn't be bad. One quarterback will show him how to be humble, Mason, and the other will show him how to pass that ball. It could work. It could. It could. Guys, this all could work out. Aaron Rodgers could come into the building and, again, strike lightning in a bottle, man, and win a title. But if you look at it from a real deep perspective, and you're looking at every nut and bolt, every piece of this franchise, you got to remember that this roster just isn't there just yet. Lamar Jackson is shit. No, it's a crown he has. Thank you for the super chat. Another super chat coming in. Steelers got nothing on the Ravens. They may not right now, but the Ravens still have a very piss poor record against the Steelers since 2020. And Lamar Jackson's record against the Pittsburgh Steelers is pretty embarrassing for a $52 million a year quarterback. And that's the reality. Those are the facts. That's the truth. Lamar Jackson is a guy that's won 3 games against the Steelers, 4 maybe. And he's a second contract guy making $52 million a year, and definitely has not done much with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers have owned Lamar Jackson basically since his inception into the league. But that is what it is, We just spit facts. But I do appreciate your super chat very much, and thank you for contributing to the show. Lamar Jackson is king. I appreciate you very much. Lil Mama Facts 100, Zachary Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer. Amen, baby. Troy, who do you think the Steelers should get for a run stopper? Kenneth Grant. I can't say it anymore. I think that if he is there at 21, you take Kenneth Grant. I doubt he's there, but you take him. That's who you got to get. That's the guy I'm aiming for. That's the guy I want. I feel like he is the guy that could really fill that void that the Steelers have been missing. Armin in the house. Good night from Germany. What's up, Armin? Glad to have you tuning in as always, my friend John Broadway. Yes, spending all that money is better spent in the future than on Mr. Breakable. Yeah, guys, it's tough, man. Rodgers is about the same age as me, man, and I know how bad I hurt when I get out of bed and I don't play NFL football. I'm not saying I keep my body in the shape that Aaron Rodgers probably does, but I'm pretty active, man. I roll around constantly. I don't sit still. I do a lot of shit. This is the most sitting I do each day. But I know how bad I hurt. And definitely, I think Aaron Rodgers definitely is starting to show his age a long time ago. G-Town, go Steelers. Daniel Warman, for $30 million a year for an old guy with recent injuries gets me excited as Bengals fans. As a Bengals fan, Tomlin, Conn, Smith are so out of touch with today's NFL. What a shame. Good to see you, Daniel. Yeah, I don't think that this is a lot to do with Omar and Art. I'm not saying that they're not involved in the decision making, but guys, you have to be embarrassed as a Pittsburgh Steelers fan right now. And you have to be embarrassed in a big way. Your head coach is fanboying so bad over a 42-year-old quarterback that it's absolutely sickening. It's embarrassing. Mike Tomlin is embarrassing right now that he is head over heels in love with a quarterback that is so far on the wrong side of 40. So crazy, guys. It's utterly embarrassing. Mike Tomlin's got to check himself with this shit, man. Again, $30 million is too much. I wouldn't want to reach into my pocket for $10 million for Aaron Rodgers. I wouldn't, guys. I'm not making this up. I'm not just saying it. He needs to retire. Don't embarrass yourself. Don't. Sleeping Lady, I heard we may not get that 6th-round comp pick for Mike Williams. That makes it 5 comp picks so far for the 2026 draft. Not bad. I thought it was only 4, Sleeping Lady. I don't think it was 6. But maybe you might be right. Last I checked, it was 4. And I'm not going off of what they estimate. I was going off of the formula and how you got to do this. There's an equation. There's a math formula that they utilize to figure out how many compensatory picks you're going to get. And that's what I was going off of. Some people, they're just estimating and guessing. So that may be an estimate. And what I was going off of, I could see 4. But again, maybe I'm wrong. Blazing Daisy, hi, I love the background. Thank you. Appreciate that, man. Downtown, I'm hitting the thumbs up for both here on the greatest show on YouTube podcast, and send Mr. Rodgers down the turnpike to Cleveland Clowns. Yeah, no Cleveland fans allowed, man. I've made my choice there. I can tolerate anybody else, but if you're a cute Cleveland Browns fan, please show yourself to the door. I don't even want to talk to you. I don't know why. It's just unbelievable, man. I just can't stand them. Let's keep going here. And here we go. LOL Steel 43. What is up, man? Zach Curry. We talked about this before. Cowher got his Super Bowl at the end of his tenure. The difference is Cowher had playoff success more frequently. He didn't go 3 seasons without winning a playoff game. No, he didn't go long, no, and he made usually some decent playoff runs, but however, he did fail at many opportunities inside of the AFC Championship game, and that was troublesome for Bill. That was a major flaw there, man, to not be able to get over the hump. But you got to realize this too, guys. A lot of those AFC Championship games were with players like Tommy Maddox, or not Tom, maybe not Tommy. I don't know if Tommy played in any, but you're talking about Cordell Stewart. You're talking about Neil O'Donnell. You're talking about guys like that. So that's what you were working with at that time. Cordell Stewart was ahead of his time. If Cordell Stewart was in today's game, he'd be a $250 million a year quarterback. Trust me. What do you think about the DK Metcalf trade? I think it was absolutely awesome, Lamar Jackson. I think it was a definite, real monster boost to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and a real step up inside of the division, inside of the AFC conference as a whole. Adding somebody like DK is really, really special. And if you can get DK and George and Calvin to really utilize their skill sets, utilize their size and their speed. Guys like Calvin, what do you got to do? You got to get right up on somebody almost to where they can almost reach out and touch you. But you got to get their hips to turn. You got to get them to bite. You got to get those routes to where you can get that, oh, I'm breaking in, but no, I'm going out, and I got your hips to turn. And Calvin did that a lot last year. You need George to do those things. You need DK to do those things. You need to get that separation, man. And if the wide receivers in this room can get that separation and then they can live up to that talent level and the expectations, I feel like they're going to be the best wide receiving core. One of the best, not the best, but one of the best wide receiving cores, and potentially a top 3 wide receiving core out of the AFC. Definitely. I think T. Higgins and Jamar Chase are phenomenal. But man, if they get an injury to either one of those guys, they are so screwed. That's one scary thing with some of these duos, and George and DK could be another one, that, man, you're scared to death if one of those guys are out, because then you're back to what the Steelers had last year. One top receiving target, and the rest of the guys were kind of there. Calvin really stepped up, I thought. They never used Mike Williams for whatever reason that was, but the Chargers sure ate him up real quick, So definitely I think it was a good step, no doubt about it. It could be the same with Tomlin. It's just way more drawn out with no playoff success. That's from Za. Danny George in the house. Why is everyone excited about him coming to Pittsburgh? We already have our quarterback, Mason fucking Rudolph, baby. Amen, Danny. Amen, man. I really don't think a lot of Steeler fans are pumped about Aaron Rodgers. I do not. I do not, guys. All right, I'm going to get a drink here, sip this Pepsi. But I need you guys to smash the shit out of that like button. Send us out into that YouTube algorithm. It's absolutely free to hit that like button here on Steel City Live, your favorite sports show on YouTube. That's right here on Mike Drop Sports. I'm your host, Jason, as always. I want to talk about this, guys. And I think it's very important. And I want to get a lot of you guys talking about this and what your thoughts are and how you feel about the last 15 players that the Steelers have selected in the NFL draft here, the last 15 times that they were able to pick. Again, one pick went to Minkah Fitzpatrick, so I kind of discounted that year and went the whole way down to 15 players. But you look at the Steelers, 11 of those players out of those 15 are not on the roster, for sure. Like, you have Cam, you have TJ, you have those guys. But 11 of those guys aren't there. You have two guys that were retirements. You have DeCastro and somebody else. You have another guy that was a retirement. And then you have guys like Kenny Pickett, guys like Najee Harris, guys like Terrell Edmonds. A lot of guys that aren't there that went elsewhere, that got moved on from. And then you have guys that ain't even in the league anymore. You have one player that was severely injured in Ryan Shazier. So, you had a lot of that going on, man. And hold on, I have an actual list. Let me get into my thing. I made a post about this earlier. Let me get on here real quick and see it. 11 out of the last 15 first-round picks for the Pittsburgh Steelers are no longer on the roster. 2 retired players out of the 11, and 1 player not on the roster due to significant injury with Ryan Shazier. Broderick Jones and Troy Fautano being the last 2 first-round picks. TJ Watt and Cam Hayward also in those 15 picks made in round 1. So the Steelers have missed on 7 of the last 15 years of first-round picks, actually 16 years really, that they have had available to them. 1 year, the first-round pick was given away for Fitzpatrick to the Dolphins for a great safety, especially at the time of acquisition. How do the Steelers fans feel about these stats? Have the Steelers done well, or have they failed evaluating first-round talent? That's the question I have for you guys. And I think it's an important one. And those are kind of staggering statistics. Do they show a ton of waste there? I think they show a large gap of not doing really well for a team that historically builds out of the draft. It shows a lot of misses, man, in the first round. And I think the Steelers got out of the Steeler way a lot of the times there with some of the players that they had taken. Armin, it seems that the competition in the AFC North is going to be very hard. Do you see the Steelers winning the division? The answer is no. I don't see the Steelers winning the division in 2025. Do I think they will be competitive within the division? Absolutely, because they do nothing but usually win inside of the division. They do get a loss here and there. I'm not saying they win every game, but they play really, really well inside of the division, especially if you look at the Steelers statistics since 2020 and you look at their record. We've done a show over that last summer about how the Steelers have been really dominant within the division. It's outside of the division that they've had a lot of their problems. So definitely, I don't think they win the AFC North, but I don't think they get dog walked either. Titans fans wasted Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett wasted himself. Kenny Pickett got pissed when Russell Wilson came into the building. He asked for a trade. He didn't want to compete with Russ. That was what it was. Instead of having the guts and the intestinal fortitude to stick it out and to fight for what was his, he didn't do that, guys. And you can't blame that on the Steelers. The Steelers let that guy start many games. He was there. He was starting. Did you see any real growth from him at any time? No, you saw him stay steadily at the same level, yes, but you never saw no real growth. Did he have his moments? Absolutely. But was it comparable to top flight quarterbacks in the NFL? Absolutely not. And Kenny Pickett dug his own ditch. Kenny Pickett made his own bed, man, and he has to lie in it now. And that's in Cleveland. And that's in Cleveland, the world's shittiest organization, football's worst team. And I'm sorry, guys, the Cleveland Browns are a classless, shitty organization. I don't know why I hate them so bad, but I do. That's probably the only NFL team that I actually truly despise. Sean says, I don't think people realize how big of an arm Mason has. No, people forget. People forget quickly. I think Mason Rudolph, if given the opportunity, will remind you all very quickly of why I believe, and I think a lot of people believe, that he is very capable of being a starting caliber quarterback in the NFL. Wave that terrible towel for Miss Pittsburgh, Zach Curry. Mason has the most yards per game among quarterbacks that have played for the Steelers since Big Ben retired. Justin didn't get a fair chance, but that's in the past. Yeah, guys, those guys are in the past. The Russ talk, the Justin talk, it's in the past. And even the Mason talk, it's kind of in the past. But now it's a dawning of a new day for Mason Rudolph. And hopefully that opportunity is afforded to him, because I believe that young man deserves it. I believe that young man has went through the ringer inside of the NFL. I believe that he's been put through hell inside of the NFL, but he's been able to overcome a lot of those situations. And now he finds himself in a spot to where potentially in 2025, he could be the week 1 starter of the Pittsburgh Steelers and have a chance to guide a football team, his own offense, that players on that offense love him, and guide that offense to potentially a decent outcome. And we'll see. We did that. Where were we? Steve Winters, we need to get back to hard-nosed physical football. That's the fucking bottom line. We need team players who are physical and smart. And when we were winning Super Bowls, we had the most physical team. Yeah, you always want to be the most physical team. You always want to be that dominant team. And you've heard it in the past. People talk about, you want people to be like, shit, the Steelers are here. Shit, we got the Steelers on the schedule this week. And I don't think it's like that anymore. I don't think it's been like that for the last several seasons. And that is an issue. And I believe hard-nosed football needs to come back. And that's a good point, Steve. Tom Wishel, Mason had growth over the years, never stopped trying to improve himself. Absolutely. And that's what you're looking for. Mark Malone, I just pity the poor bastards. Gerald Ross, hi, Broncos fan here. My Broncos team may possibly be in shambles right now. I don't think, Gerald, good to see you, man. We welcome everybody here, man, except for Cleveland Browns fans. But, yeah, I don't think your team's in shambles. I think you've got a good base. I think what plagues your team is the ego of Sean Payton. I've never been a Sean Payton fan. Does he win? Absolutely. But at what cost? You know, he's just a real ass. You know, that's the issue I have. But I think you guys are all right. I think you guys are going to have a decent ball club, and I think you'll be competing for a playoff spot once again in 2025. Thank you, Tara Kwan, man, fan. Jesus loves you. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Jesus loves you too. Jesus loves us all. Still 43. Steelers are starting to mess up their reputation, believe it or not. Oh, absolutely, still 43. They're the laughing stock of the league right now, almost. And that's saying something when you're in a league with the Cleveland Browns. It's embarrassing how Mike Tomlin has paraded himself around there to fanboy around Aaron Rodgers. It's amazing to me that Mike Tomlin cannot foresee or can't visualize the future and come to the realization that band-aiding the quarterback spot, it can't continue. And the only way to fix this franchise and to get it back on track is to get a real franchise quarterback in place, a long-term franchise quarterback in place. And Mike Tomlin was handed the keys to a Ferrari. And I know some people out there in the podcasting world, in the Steelers talk world, don't think that Mike Tomlin was handed anything of significance. Well, he was. He was handed a team that had just won a Super Bowl, which is unheard of. So it is what it is. But Mike Tomlin was handed a franchise quarterback in Big Ben Roethlisberger in the prime of his career, and was only able to get to 2 Super Bowls very early in that career for Mike Tomlin, very early in Ben's career, and then they weren't able to get back there ever again after a 1-1 record together inside of the world's biggest game. So that's the truth, and it is what it is. But Mike Tomlin's got to bring back that Steelers culture, that Steelers way. But it doesn't start with the talk. It doesn't start with the bullshit hype that he puts out there. What brings back the Steeler way that everybody wants to talk about? The Steeler way isn't words. It isn't something you can sit there and say. That's not what the Steeler way is. The Steeler way is leading by example, being innovators, being just really outworking everybody. That's the Steeler way, and that's shown in your preparation and your work each and every week. And that's not only done by the players, that's done by the coaches. That's done by everybody in the organization, the scouting department, doing new, innovative things, like guys like Bill Nunn, going to HBCUs back in the day, bringing in talent like Stallworth, and going out to USC and getting guys like Swan, going and finding guys like Joe Green, Jack Lambert, those guys, being innovative. Guys like Chuck Noll that were super smart guys, man, that just come in there and they pour their life into football. And that's what you want to see in that building. And you don't see it right now, guys. You see some guys that bust their ass and work hard and they try to set the example. But it isn't a whole culture thing. That's not what it is there anymore. And that's what's got to come back. And it's not something, again, you can sit here and articulate through words. It's something that you got to show through action. And actions speak louder than words, guys. Actions speak louder than words. And that's the problem I have with a lot of these players on the Pittsburgh Steelers roster. George Pickens in particular, actually. People... he's had his defenders. People say, George is probably upset because he doesn't get the ball that much and blah, blah, blah. But, George hasn't went off in the media, which he hasn't. He said some little backhanded, comments. And that is what it is. George hasn't been a major disruption that way. But actions, again, guys, speak louder than words. And his play on the field at times is very subpar with his lack of effort. And again, you could not say anything. You could be absolutely perfect off the field. But your actions on the field will tell me a lot about you. And you may be fantastic off the field, but on the field, you're lazy and your ego shows. And we can see that. And again, actions speak louder than words, guys. All right, guys, you need to double tap that screen for us here on Steel City Live, only on Mic Drop Sports. It's a Freestyle Friday here on the channel. We truly appreciate you stopping through. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe and become a member. 99 cents a month. Always will be 99 cents a month. Help support the work we do. Again, guys, hit that like button. It's absolutely free, man. And make sure you're sharing the show to all your social medias. I truly appreciate that. Slayer Chicken Legs. Mason Rudolph had almost the same exact stats as Will Levis last year. He is not a starter. He is a decent backup quarterback. Yeah, taking into consideration the roster that he was playing with last year was absolutely dog shit. And listen to a guy like Ramon Foster. Ramon Foster covers the Tennessee Titans, Slayer. He covers them day in, day out, week in, week out, all season long, all off season long. He covers that football team. And if you listen to what you talk about with Mason Rudolph's 9 touchdown passes to 9 interceptions, and you hear what Ramon talks about with those interceptions of Mason Rudolph last year, those 9 interceptions, he's talking like 7 of them were tipped balls that aren't the quarterback's fault. And a lot of that is like hitting the receiver's hands and bouncing up. And that's not a quarterback problem, So sometimes you get bad bounces. And I'm not going to take Mason Rudolph and sit and classify him off his performance with an absolutely rancid team. A team that's nowhere near what the Pittsburgh Steelers are roster-wise. We won't even compare the two. They're just not. At least they weren't last year. I don't know what they've done this offseason. Oh, wait, they got Dan Moore Jr. for $80 fucking million. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Enjoy that. But, again, the last time I saw Mason Rudolph in a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform, he was absolutely phenomenal when he was a top 5 NFL quarterback through that time. I won't ignore that. I won't discount it, nor will I discount what he did in Tennessee. But I'm going to take in every variable. I'm going to look at every part of both of those last 2 performances for him, 2023 and 2024. All right, guys, super chats are always open. If you want your comment read right away, go ahead and do that. That's an easy way to get it done. Or if you just want to help support our work, we truly appreciate that. Again, super chats are always open. Thank you for the super so far during the live stream. We appreciate that. But double tap that screen, hit that like button, send us out into that YouTube algorithm. We truly appreciate it. Black and Gold, hello, everyone. Hopefully, Allen Robinson will pan out. Good to see you, buddy. Steven Lambros. Agreed. Cyrus, DK Metcalf, they might win a 7th Super Bowl. DK could be a major contributor, guys, in 2025. Does DK coming to the Pittsburgh Steelers instantly make them ring chasers? Nah. Does he make the team significantly better? Yeah. But, man, you got to do a lot more, man. This is the ultimate team game, guys, and you got to put the puzzle pieces together correctly. You got to have your chessboard set up, and you got to be thinking 3, 4, 5 moves ahead of your opponent. Smash Mouth Football, I agree with that, man. I'm ready for that. Stephen Carpenter in the house, Steel City Live. Let's weld. Armin, what is with Russell Wilson? A reunion of Russ and DK would be perfect. I don't think it'd be bad, but man, Russ cannot hit the middle of the field, and that kills this offense of Arthur Smith. And that is, I think, in my eyes, from an outsider's perspective, looking at the Arthur Smith, Russell Wilson combo last year, and look at how they were able to succeed in some aspects of the offense. But I think what really, really irritated the shit out of Arthur Smith and what really created the drama with those two. Well, we won't even say drama, but created some tension with the direction of how the offense was supposed to go, according to Russ or Arthur. But what created that tension was, I believe, Russ's inability to utilize the middle of the field. And I think that that's a very important aspect of Arthur Smith's offense. And if you look at a lot of all-22 tape, there's a lot of open guys in the middle of the field. And it's troublesome, guys, and it's a real problem. And I think that is the biggest deterrent from bringing a guy like Russell Wilson back to the Steelers, especially for the amount of money that it will require to bring him back in. He's going to be wanting at least 30 to 35 million for sure. I could say that with certainty. Anything less, I would be really, really surprised in my eyes. And are the Steelers stupid enough to do that? I hope not. If Russ were to come back, an offer of $15 million a year maybe would be my offer, and I know that may be insulting, and he would probably be really insulted by that. But sometimes that's the reality of your circumstance. DK Metcalf and George Pickens, as a Seahawks fan, I'm still mad about Super Bowl 40. Yeah, it sucks to lose a Super Bowl, man. I've watched 4 Super Bowls that the Steelers have played in my lifetime. That being 2 wins and 2 losses. I've seen them lose to the Dallas Cowboys and to the Green Bay Packers, and I've seen them beat your Seattle Seahawks in Super Bowl 40 and the Arizona Cardinals in Super Bowl 43. So, yeah, I can sympathize with a Super Bowl loss, my friend. And after a Super Bowl loss, you sit there and you overanalyze everything. First, you go through the stages of football grief. First, you blame the refs. Second, you blame the players. Third, you blame the coaches. And then you just learn to live with it and you're pissed about it. Those are the 3 stages of football grief. Can the Steelers win the division? I don't think so. Not this year. They can, but I don't think so. Titans fans, rumors going around may trade Will Levis to the Steelers. I thought Will Levis was going to be a really, really good player. And when he first came in for the Tennessee Titans, I thought that he played really, really well. And again, I think what has happened to Will Levis in Tennessee is a result of how poor that roster is constructed right now, and how bad it was. That's so I feel like he's taken some of that, and that's compiled on him in his NFL career so far. But I don't see a Will Levis trade happening. I don't. Why go get Will Levis when you have Mason Rudolph in the building? Guys, you got to be real about this too. And I know everybody wants to talk about the new exciting rumor, or they want to come up with some trade scenario in their head, and all this. But you got to look at what you're trading for. You know what I mean? So everybody was really excited about going and doing a Jalen Milroe trade. You're getting the same guy, man. You're getting a guy that can probably do exactly what Mason Rudolph's going to do. Probably less than what Mason Rudolph's going to do, considering the lack of playing time, the lack of experience. Look at a Will Levis trade. He's going to do the same thing that Mason could do, but again, probably on a lesser scale. So why go out there and, first of all, trade draft capital that you could use for a potential young guy to come in inside of the draft that, could contribute and be something special, an unknown commodity? Why risk those chances? I wouldn't want to. And, why do it? Because 2026 is coming, and you don't waste any draft capital right now. You build this roster to the max, man. And in the meantime, you draft young quarterbacks and you swing on it, and you take your growing pains, and you build your roster, and you search for that next young talent at the quarterback position. That's the path the Pittsburgh Steelers have to follow right now. And that's the path a lot of teams should commit to. Because, guys, let's face it, there's a handful of really good quarterbacks in the league. A handful. Then there's a handful of really good quarterbacks, but they just can't win them big ones, They just can't win those big games. And then there's the rest, That's kind of how it is. And that's the reality and the sad part about how vital the quarterback situation is inside of the NFL. Cyrus, but Super Bowl 49 was in... I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry. I have a hard time seeing there, so... Mark Malone, a Hall of Fame quarterback, no less. Yeah. I'm not sure who you're talking about. If you're talking about Big Ben, baby. If Sean Payton wasn't our coach, I don't know what coaching staff my Broncos team would have. I don't know, Gerald. I think he's a good coach. I just don't like his attitude. That's all. It's more of a personal kind of thing than his ability to win. I think his ability to win is, top shelf. I think it's far better than a guy like Mike Tomlin that coaches my favorite football team. But it is what it is. Cyrus, my team has a lot of potential, but I think we can win a Super Bowl. Who's your team? Oh, the Seahawks. I don't know, man. Sam Darnold ain't that guy. I'm sorry, dude. Is he a good ball player? Yeah, but he ain't that guy. Is Jackson Smith and Jigba that guy? Yeah, he's good, but I don't think you have all the pieces, Cyrus. I think you are way, way, way off in your evaluation of the Seattle Seahawks in terms of them being able to win a Super Bowl in 2025. I don't even think they sniff the Super Bowl. I don't think they sniff more than a simple wild card berth at best. That's just my opinion. I may be wrong. You may be right. But in my eyes, I just don't see the Seahawks getting it done. All right, guys, make sure you're double tapping that screen for us here on Steel City Live, only here on Mike Drop Sports. Make sure you subscribe to the best channel here on YouTube for sure. Hopefully one day we'll expand the other platforms if I ever get off my lazy ass and start putting content onto them. But we do have an X account. You can go and follow us there. Also, go over to Facebook and give us a follow over there on the Mic Drop Sports fan page over there. We truly appreciate it. You can get updates of shows and things of that nature. We share that so you can constantly get updates really fast when we post new content. User one, you have a beautiful team. Oh my God. Steve Winters, I remember the days of Greg Lloyd, Kevin Green, Levon Kirkland, all outside Three Rivers, no shirts on, and the opposing team would be so fucking intimidated. These guys are monsters. Yeah, that was a different time, no doubt, man, and I miss those guys. Greg Lloyd, one of my favorite Pittsburgh Steelers ever, dude. Levon Kirkland, a very underrated Pittsburgh Steeler by many, in my opinion. Levon Kirkland was a guy of tremendous size, quick feet, just quick for his size. And man, when he come downhill, he could lay the hammer down. And I loved Levon Kirkland. Also, Kevin Green with that flowing hair, man, was just something special to watch. Let's get down in the chat. Malachi Smith, hey, Jason, good to hear you talk football. How do you feel about Milroe or Dart as a young quarterback? I'm out on Milroe, guys. I watched Milroe highlights again today. He's a runner, and he's a runner only. Yeah, he makes great passes against a lot of shitty teams like Mercer and shit. Alabama playing a college named Mercer. Like, whoopee shit if fucking Milroe goes off on that. You know what I mean? And people, like, hype them up for that. But Malachi, I think Jackson Dart's a phenomenal talent. I think he could do really, really well. I'm just out on Milroe. I just think that he is all running back, no quarterback. Lorraine Davidson, Sam Darnold is only good when he's surrounded with talent. Well, he's going to have some talent up there in Seattle. I don't think he's without talent up there. But he had an exceptional football team with the Minnesota Vikings, one in which quarterbacks would die to play for. And yeah, you're gonna get to see the real Sam Darnold. They're gonna say, "Will the real Sam Darnold please stand up?" And he's gonna have to prove that he can play without an elite roster like that. The defense is going to be different this year in 2025 from Mike McDaniel. Maybe, man. I don't follow the Seahawks enough, Cyrus. Sorry, buddy. Cool, bro. Are you happy with that? Yeah, I am cool, bro. I'm happy with the DK trade. I think it was very good. The Bengals are a little bit misguided right now, and I think that they took a step in really the wrong direction by putting so many resources into three players. Again, maybe they're onto something. Maybe they're the ones that are right, but I think that they really, really messed up. I think Aaron Rodgers ends up retiring. That's what I think, Jose. Cole's team, Mike Tom needs to quit the bullshit. Yeah, that'd be nice. Are you happy with that? Yeah. Guys, don't put your chat in there twice. I will get to it. I promise. Well, I'll try to get to it, but don't put it in there twice. I know sometimes phones do that accidentally without you trying to put it in there twice. But don't put your chat in there twice. It just clogs things up. I try to get to as many of your comments as possible. And when you put things in there more than once, thinking that I'm going to read it because you put it in there more, don't do that because that's not the case. I really try to include you guys here on Mic Drop Sports and the show Steel City Live more than I believe any other channel would. So bear with me and don't clog up the chat for me. I really appreciate that. And I'm not saying anybody's doing it right now. I just seen a couple that were in there more than once. So just try not to do that, guys. Where were we? Black and gold in the house. Speaking of Super Bowl losses, I still feel we could have beat Dallas if Cordell played more in that game, especially at quarterback. Yeah, man, that was a heartbreaker for me because, man, those interceptions of Neil O'Donnell were fucking horrible, man. Horrible. Zach Curry gifted a Mic Drop Sports membership, and George T., welcome back to the membership. Good to see you, George, again. And thank you, Za, for gifting a membership, man. I truly appreciate that, guys. That'll always be 99 cents a month. Always, no matter what. So we truly appreciate that. Thank you and value you guys so very much. All of you Mafia members out there, you are so much appreciated. Sam Darnold is not that good. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Malachi Smith, hit the like button, fellas. Thank you. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, please hit that like button. It's absolutely free to do. It's really important to help your creators, for sure. Sleeping Lady, I think DK Metcalf is George Pickens' replacement. Writing is on the wall. I really hope I'm wrong, but it just feels like that's the next big move besides the Rodgers move. I think you could be right. I think that there could be some potential behind a possible George Pickens trade. I feel the Steelers really want to get back into round two, so I think that there is. Oh, excuse me. I think there is potential for George Pickens to be traded, but I can also see a world in which he's not. Especially if Aaron Rodgers does sign with Pittsburgh. So theoretically speaking, if Aaron Rodgers does sign with the Steelers, I believe the Steelers would retain George Pickens, and I think that would be a stipulation Aaron puts in place, that he would want the most weapons that he could possibly have at his disposal, and frankly, he's going to need it. The guy's 42 years old when he's playing for the Steelers, so definitely he's going to need every bit of those weapons. So I can't see, the Steelers letting go of George Pickens if that be the case. And I would like to see them keep George Pickens for the simple fact is I would like to see Mason Rudolph armed and have that opportunity also with an immense amount of weapons, with a real solid core group of wide receivers. So, but I can see a world in which both of those situations happen, Sleeping Lady. At least we are not Cowboys fans. Yeah, absolutely. It could be worse. Or you could be a Cleveland shit stain. Self-made SM, is it going to be Tomlin's last try if this doesn't work out? I don't think so. I think Tomlin's here until he doesn't want to be in here anymore. And whether that's right or wrong, that's neither. Our opinions don't matter. It's Art Rooney. And is he going to retain him? Probably. So I really don't see that it matters in any way, shape, or form. Lockdown NFL. Who would you want at Steelers quarterback? Guys, I've said it a lot, man. Mason Rudolph is who is the signed quarterback, so that's who I'd like to see. Guys, I'm going to root for the Steelers no matter who is under center. I don't care if fucking Brucey is from The Longest Yard with Adam Sandler. I don't care if Brucey's at quarterback. I'm going to root for that person. I'm going to root for the Steelers. And to be real about it, guys, I just don't see much difference between Mason Rudolph and Aaron Rodgers and what the potential outcome of the season could be. I don't see it. And I know a lot of you may see something I don't, but I don't see it. But it's just, it is what it is. John Dodd paying Higgins and Chase is going to cost them a chance at a Super Bowl, in my opinion. They would need to tank and get a generational talent. Well, they have a generational talent at the quarterback position, and you don't waste those. We saw Ben Roethlisberger's career get wasted at the end, not at the end, actually in his prime, and never being able to get back to the big game after those two quick performances that he got to with Tomlin. And then they were never able to duplicate that again. Hold on, guys. There we go. All right. Where are we at? What do the Broncos need to do so they can be able to reach the Super Bowl? Because lots of people hype the Broncos and Bo Nix. I think there's a lot they still need to do, and I think if you ask the Broncos organization that, I can't pronounce your name, Miguel, the first part, but I think there's a lot, and I don't think Bo Nix is some generational talent at the quarterback position. I don't think he's some, just great talent. Patrick Mahomes. I don't think that he's like that. Do I think he'll be solid? Yeah, but do I think he's just some guy that's going to rip off Lombardi trophies constantly? No. I still think there's going to be a lot to do for them, and I don't think you can really classify one particular need that's going to catapult them into the Super Bowl. And the same goes for the Steelers. I don't think there's one thing that you can do instantly that makes you a Super Bowl contender. Sean, who had the better hair, Troy or Kevin Green? Troy Polamalu, my friends. His hair was something to be marveled. Crazy. Roberta Campbell in the house. What's up, Roberta? I have been fortunate to live through the 70s. Steel Curtain. L.C. Greenwood still deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, and he's not. The 80s retooling, 90s great regular seasons, great teams though. 2000s back on track. Early 2000s they were back on track, and then this team has derailed. Roberta, you've got to see 8 Super Bowl performances from the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they are 6-2 inside of the world's biggest game. How phenomenal, and that can't be overlooked, and that's something really cool that you've got to live through all of those. Cyrus, never mind. Sorry, Cyrus, I lost your chat. Where are we at? Steelers 626, no matter who, no matter what. John Dowd, why can't I play quarterback? I don't know. Are you as good as Brucey? Roberta Campbell, I am fine with Mason being the quarterback. I am just praying they give him a fair shake. Steelers for life, good or bad, from Steelers 626. Go Pack Go from my name is whatever, I can't read it. 5-line Leon. We need to draft James Pierce Jr. Devin Burkett, Brucey would be better than dropping a massive bag on a washed up Kirko Chains. If Rodgers blows off the dust and will play for relatively cheap, we should be okay. We can always bench him for Rudy. Devin, I hear what you're saying, and I agree. You don't want to pay big money to these washed up people that are old. It's just not wise to put a massive investment into somebody that's only going to be there for a very limited amount of time. But make no mistake about this, man, Devin. I want to be 1,000% so clear on this, guys. If Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, anybody that's Mike Tomlin's going to fanboy over, he will never, ever, ever bench that player for Mason Rudolph. Please do not ever get that twisted. That will never happen. And we may want it to happen, but it's not going to happen. Keller Galvin, what do you think about getting Jackson Dart? I would love it. Where are we at? I like cornerback from Louisville as well. Hopefully he's there in the 4th or 5th round. Yeah, that'd be a good one. Robert Road in the house. The Broncos might have the best defense in the NFL in 2025. They were very good last year, and they added a couple more very good defenders in free agency. There you go. Robert lives out there, guys, so he'll probably know a lot more about them than I do. I still think that they are not just a player away, though. But definitely they could have, like Robert said, they could have a very good defense. We'll see. We'll see how that all goes. Devin Burkett, LA, we did that. Cyrus and the Patriots are 6-5 on the dynasty in total of 11 Super Bowl appearances. Yeah, they're tied with the Steelers. 6 Super Bowl wins. 6 wins, man. That's the most in the NFL. 2 teams. I don't think anybody else reached 6. Roberta Campbell, early 2000s ran out of room. This past 10 years only average. Yeah, way average. Andrew Luck, what a joke. What about him? He was very good, man. He was hurt. He has kids and stuff. He made a boatload of cash. It just was what it was. John, don't disrespect Andrew Luck. The Colts tried destroying his career. That was still great. No, he was very good, man. Very, very good. Generational talent. A guy that, you'd love to have on the ball club. Steelers had 6 before anyone else, and we never cheated to get any sticky Lombardis. I know the haters will cry about it, but get over it. The Pittsburgh Steelers are the GOAT franchise. Yeah, they did it the right way. They worked hard, never was accused of cheating or called out for cheating in any way. There was never any accusations about that. The Steelers have usually been a front and center, pretty squared up team, no doubt about that. And that does have to come into play. If I'm going to talk about the best franchises in football, and if I'm going to go off of Lombardi Trophy wins, which is the only thing that matters in this league, I would pick the Steelers because of that, Devin. So I totally agree. All right, guys, double tap that screen, hit that like button for us here on Steel City Live. Super chats are always open. Also, Mic Drop Mafia memberships are always open. Also, 99 cents a month will always be 99 cents a month. Make sure you do that. Super Bowl 49 was the most damaging Super Bowl loss I've ever seen. Why? Oh, when Brady's has 7 rings, man. 7 now. Or you're talking about his 4th Super Bowl win? Who were they playing? I don't even know, man. I can't even remember. All right, guys, another great show, man. We're going to wrap it up, man. Thank you guys so very, very much. Truly appreciate all the turnout as always. It's always nice to have a lot of views and things of that nature, different people coming in. So I hope a lot of you people that were new in the chat tonight, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Oh, they played the Seahawks. The Patriots played the Seahawks. Oh, yes, that's right. I remember. Okay, Cyrus, I'm sorry. I had a brain fart. When Malcolm Butler picked off Russell Wilson, I forgot about that. That was one of the craziest moments. You had beast mode, man. You run beast mode there as many times as it takes. That's what you do. That was a coaching blunder. Yeah, I remember now, guys. Thank you. Yeah, I couldn't remember there for a second. I was like brain farting. Yeah, that was crazy. All right, again, all you newer people that I've seen in the chat tonight, make sure you subscribe. Join the conversation each and every day, man. We truly, truly appreciate all the support. We're headed toward 10,000 subscribers. Also, again, when we hit that 10,000 subscriber marks, my friends, we are going to give away this signed, authentic TJ Watt jersey to one lucky Mic Drop Mafia member. That will cost you 99 cents a month to be entered into that. But that is a authentic jersey. Again, if we hit 12,000 subscribers, when I give it away, I'll make sure that I go out and get it authenticated and framed for you. So that's something to look forward to here when we get to that 10,000 subscriber mark, because we taking over, baby. So yes, thank you, Devin. Appreciate that. Yes, guys, hit that like button, man. It's very important to the show. We truly appreciate that. So until tomorrow night, what's tomorrow? Saturday? We may do a show. Sean may be able to join me. We'll see. Maybe something will happen from now until then. Maybe a signing of a quarterback or something. We'll see. But good night, guys. We appreciate you all. And maybe we'll be back tomorrow. If not, for sure Monday. No doubt about it. But this is the off season, so the weekends are hit or miss whether we do it or not. But definitely I try to do it with Sean. So if Sean wants to do a show, we'll get one going. Or if the Steelers make any type of significant move from now until then. So, hey, we'll see you soon, my friends. We'll see you soon. And thank you for joining us. Thank you for all your support. Peace.